Hi, I'm Dino, and thanks for stopping by to check out my channel again. If this is your first time here, I'm so grateful to meet you, and if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so fascinated with rocks and minerals and all the things about the earth, and I'm actually crazy about them, especially crystals and the origins of the universe and answers how we got here, where we're going, and everything in between. I sincerely hope you will find some of my information helpful or at least entertaining as we travel down that crystal road. It's not simply just a story about collecting some nice stones and putting them on a shelf inside your home. I'm inviting you to travel with me down this gigantic rabbit hole, searching for answers of the whole cosmos. I've been a rock collector since I was a kid, a little child, about 10 years old. I was so curious about rocks. Simply put, when you're a small child, they are just rocks. But when you get older, you realize they are crystals. So we will be gradually calling them crystals as we go along. I find them as something fascinating that is nice to touch and to feel and to collect. I've been researching why it's such a special feeling that you can have when you surround yourself with these natural beauties of the earth. All through man's known history, he has been intrigued with crystals. It's a fact in the history books that there are told ancient stories of the Atlantean and the Lemurians. However, those were just stories. We do have solid proof of the last few thousand years of mankind's existence that he has held high values for crystals and minerals such as the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Sumerians, the Hebrews, the Hindus, the Orientals, natives from every continent and from every island. You got the Greeks and you got the Romans and the royalty of all these different groups of people. And throughout the ages, they've worn gems and crystals. They've even used them like money. Wars were caused, and the victors were to take and plunder for all the different things for the riches. And the riches were the gold and the gems and the crystal and the silver and anything made with them, like crowns and rings and ornaments and jewelry and even money. So gold, which is also a crystal as well as a mineral, it come to be the number one focus of mankind to use as money for thousands of years. Man has made gold coins from ancient times down to the present day. Although for most of the last century, coins have gone to being made from cheaper materials like copper and brass and bronze and other iron products because it's cheaper. But now, when I say the power of the crystals, is it starting to have a significance to you? Thinking about this little bit of history? Is it magic or is it science that these precious elements of the earth are so fascinating? So I plan on this to be a really interesting journey to find the crystal road with you. I'm a self-taught rock and mineral collector. I guess you would call me an amateur geologist. I don't have any degrees, but I have a lot of fascination with it. And I love it, and it's got a very special part in my life. I don't have a degree as a professor or a scientist, but I do have a few certifications as a crystal healer, Reiki master, hypnotherapist, meditation coach, and I'm also a certified teacher. But I've always wanted to know the origins of how and why and where man got the idea of something so special going on with crystals and minerals. Our ancestors, before civilizations ever even existed, They used sticks and stones to plant and to defend themselves when they were suddenly thrust into using bronze, iron, and steel. That's quite a transition. But gold was always the precious number one material for man. So, how did that transition come about? Did man accidentally just stumble across iron and steel and decided to use gold as a way of trading? Or was man introduced to it by a more intelligent being that was here on the earth? So this brings me back to the feeling, the idea of collecting rocks, minerals, and gems. It's kind of in our genetics. Now, how did we get that feeling in us? Well, I think it's personally a way to connect with something higher than our present selves. I also think that everyone has this deep-seated feeling of collecting rocks and minerals. Think about it for a moment. People may think that, it's the farthest thing from my mind, but really, is it? Okay, for example, for the ladies, what is the lady's best friend? A diamond. Yes, ladies like to wear diamonds. Diamond earrings, diamond necklace, diamond bracelets. Getting married to have that nice big sparkly diamond ring. Ladies just love jewelry. Besides diamonds, maybe it's emeralds, topaz, rubies, garnets, sapphires, opals, citrine, clear quartz, rose quartz, smoky quartz, amethyst, tiger's eye, jade, jasper, green aventurine. There's always something that the ladies would like to have for jewelry, and it's always in different colors. It's like the full spectrum of colors. They love it. And with a little something to hold it in place, like gold or silver. And guys, you're not really much different. We like rings made of gold, silver, or titanium. Now guys are wearing bracelets and necklaces. Some wear earrings and piercings. I mean, it's just a whole different array. So they're wearing just about every kind of crystal and stone also. Crystals are all around us. And it's not that apparent to see because they're in our products. Assisting in our lives, we have glass. Glass is everywhere. Our house windows, our car windows, we got cups and glasses and plates and jars for food, and it's made with silica sand, which is quartz crystals. Quartz is also used in making perfect time watches. Not so much now, but in the past they used it for timepieces. Refining copper, refining brass, refining bronze, and making circuit boards, silicone, hiking boots, conveyor belts, human implants inside the body, even lipstick for women. So we are all collecting without even knowing. But for now, going out and collecting rocks and crystals like we usually think of it takes just a bit of research and practice of keeping your eye open, and when you're walking or you're shopping around looking for them in the stores, keep your eye open and you can find them everywhere. There's lots of stores that sell rocks and minerals and crystals. To find a store that has crystals that you can purchase, you can simply go online. Look up rocks and minerals, hobby shops, mystic shops. And even here in the States, there's stores like Ross, TJ Maxx, eBay, Amazon, and Etsy. Sometimes they have wonderful specimens. I've even gotten a few things on Temu, but I had to wait like forever to get it. But it was some pretty interesting things. You have to be careful because you can get some things that are fake out there. So you've got to always keep in mind you get what you pay for. But you can just walk around in parks, in nature trails. You can come across some really interesting specimens when you're out if you're looking for it. It probably won't be a perfect crystal just lying on the ground in front of you, but sometimes you can occasionally find that quartz or jasper or agate when you're out kicking around and walking around the lakes and the rivers and the trails that you might be on. But of course, it depends also on the area. Not every area has lots of everything in it. A place in Arizona will have different minerals and rocks than, say, in Massachusetts. So, you get where you're at for what you can find. I lived in Arizona for about 10 years, and it was possible to always find like obsidian teardrops in a few locations. I did that. I lived in Colorado for about 8 or 10 years, and I found garnets in the hillsides not far from where I lived at. It was really interesting, but I was a small kid at that time in Colorado. I didn't really know what I was looking at, and now I wished I would have got more. They all got lost over the years. Always be careful where you are. Make sure that you're obeying the property rights of other people of the land that you're on. With that said, you might wonder, why collect stones and crystals at all? Well, the first thing is the natural beauty. As I mentioned, as a small kid, I started having an interest in collecting rocks because they were pretty, they were shiny, and I was such a curious little guy, and I was obsessed with these rocks, and I didn't know why. I was a collector, and I was really drawn to them. They were like my little buddies. Why in the world would you be drawn to rocks? Maybe there's something there, kind of like a hidden message for us, but what could that message be? Have you noticed how people now, more than ever, are into rocks and crystals? Everywhere you see people decorating their homes or decorating themselves with beads and crystals. There's something that compels people to have crystals. And here is my theory. All matter in the universe has its own signature frequency. So does each type of crystal. So with the aid of crystals, you can feel real nature at its best, and you don't even realize it. It's the nature of the cosmos with the purest energy of the universe. Crystals do have a power force that we can tap into. Now, how does it operate? Like mentioned before, there's a frequency involved. We have numerous resonating frequencies in different parts of our body, and certain crystals can take and help open and correspond with those areas of the body. Our bodies respond to these crystals for healing, cell rejuvenation, and our mental consciousness. You have to learn how to discover those feelings in your body. Everything you need is already inside you, just waiting for you to discover it. So you have to reach deep inside, pull it out, and use these gifts. You know that feeling when someone is close, or maybe they enter the room, and without even talking to them, you're either drawn to them or just the opposite. For example, someone comes into the room, it's like, they're kind of dark and creepy. It's like you get a really uneasy feeling of them. Or maybe someone comes in the room and you're just feeling a little intimidated. It's like, oh my God, it's the boss. Well, they are emitting an energy causing this feeling. So we will expand on this feeling. It's a start to feeling the power of the crystals. This feeling is your link. Another example would be a microwave oven, your phone, or better yet, the TV remote. Let's just say you take the TV remote and you push a button and it comes on. Okay, you push another button and the channels change. You don't see it, but there's an energy force there to make it all happen. And that's all around us. It's everywhere. It's in the universe, and it's called frequency. This, it is this invisible energy you feel one way or the other towards people. It's emitted. You emit it, they emit it. Some people say they have the sixth sense about people, and it's being able to feel an energy, and it's this resonance or frequency, like energy that can be used to change a channel. We don't question the workings of a microwave, and we don't question that our phone works or a remote control for our TV. We just know it works. If you traveled back in time, say a few hundred years ago, and you had your phone, you would probably be burnt at the stake for witchcraft because people didn't understand what they can't see. But today, people are gradually waking up to the things, how they can operate and see. Got a dry throat. So, how can we connect this frequency to us and the crystals? Well, in short, as mentioned before, every piece of matter down to every cell in the entire universe has this connecting frequency. It's in the trees, it's in that speck of sand underneath your foot, it's the doorknob, it's the tabletop, it's every cell in our body, everything. So rocks and minerals and crystals have these properties too. We need to reach deep into ourselves to find out how to feel them and how we can use them. Different crystals have stronger energy and different frequencies, and that's really good for us in certain ways. Anyway, there's going to be a whole string of videos in the future coming, mostly about the common crystals and the properties they have. Things like the crystal's full name, how long ago people started using it, its composition, color, shape, the resonating frequency that it has, hardness scale, healing properties, and where you can find them or buy them, and any history that the ancients had that we found out about on how they were used. Plus, modern times, any manufacturing that this product is used for in our daily life. And I find that really interesting. Things that we don't even know we take for granted. My purpose is to make this really informative and fun to discover. Most of the things that we just take for granted. Don't worry, it's going to be just some really fun, open ideas and cool information that may be new to you. And if it's not new, well, maybe you'll just come along for the ride and you'll discover some interesting ideas and concepts of our wonderful infinite universe. We explore the frequencies between about 174 hertz to 963 hertz for the body's health. I have a list of many rocks and crystals to share with you that I think you would find really interesting. One of the crystals to discuss will be the huge, big family of quartz. You've got clear quartz, you've got rose quartz, smoky quartz, amethyst, milky quartz, citrine, and we'll discuss the information on selenite and tourmaline for protection and cleaning, cat's eye or tiger's eye, we have hematite, iron pyrite, and one of my favorite as a child, it's called fool's gold, and it's iron pyrite. It's fascinating to see little kids get excited about this shiny stuff. And we'll talk about jasper, aventurine, the agates, that's another big family, lapis lazuli, and what most interesting history lapis lazuli has. This is a piece of lapis lazuli, and this no doubt came from Afghanistan. Beautiful color, and we'll go into detail on that later on. We have, let's see, carnelian, jade, amber, onyx, obsidian, garnet, and this is just to name a few of the thousands, who knows how many different kinds of crystals and rocks there are out there. Did you know that crystals are like plants? They grow. And it's so interesting to see how they grow in a natural formation. They've grown for thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years, and they keep growing even after we're gone. They will keep growing. I can even show you a way to grow your own crystals in a matter of a few weeks instead of waiting for several 100,000 years. We don't have time for that. We'll discuss the Sumerians in the Mesopotamian Valley, the ancient discoveries of our human race that goes back thousands and thousands of years, and what crystals were used by these ancients and the Hebrews that used them in their practices. And we'll discover who used them and why. Was it for good or was it for evil? Well, we'll find out that maybe it was a little bit of both. We'll have a section about the 7 major chakras that are invisible to the eye, plus the aura that surrounds our body. Yes, you have an energy glow that you didn't know, but you do. You can learn how to use a crystal wand for pain therapy. It's not quite like Harry Potter's wand, no chairs are going to be flying around, but it is good for many common ailments, so you can self-treat yourself, and I'll do a separate discussion about that. I'm not talking about mending broken bones and serious health conditions. This is for health and well-being of the body, mind, and spirit. Cell rejuvenation. In upcoming discussions, we'll dive into meditation. What really is it? It's like rebooting your worn-out brain. It'll give your mind some clarity. We'll learn the effective use of meditation to reach deep within ourselves, to get to those higher levels, to find those deep feelings. And what makes a crystal your favorite? I mean, we all have favorites of different things. I have several that I don't know which is my favorite, but there's some that I just can't be without. It's like my little buddies yet. It's still like when I was a little kid. Unless you're independently wealthy with a big house and unlimited money, you don't really need every crystal out there. We'll learn also some different things on how to clean crystals, and also how to avoid getting counterfeit ones that are out there. So I think you're starting to get the idea now that a simple thing as rock collecting has got some very serious history and benefits for us. A famous man by the name of Nikola Tesla said that if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy frequency and vibration. And I couldn't have said it better myself. I think this is a wrap for today. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. I would love to hear from you. It really helps out if you could subscribe and a like. You know, that would be just great, so that you can get notified of any videos that they come out. I try to have one a week, maybe more if there's some special questions out there. So anyway, the next video will be about the history of Dino. When I was a little kid to now an old man looking for rocks, getting crystals, trying to find the meaning of life. So see you the next time a little farther down that crystal road. So long, friend. Namaste.